There's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ. What a play by Bird.
Miller, the key. Gets it in the middle for the win.
Unbelievable.
Standing down middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12. Good!
Take it inside. And unbelievable. Julius Erving.
Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! They win!
The word amongst the Bucks camp is that they will be back, that they have a good ball club. And Milwaukee's not taking anything for granted, and they're going to come out and bust here tonight. The players are being introduced down on the floor. Can't very well get a good shot from where you are right here, but they've introduced, there they are. Moncrief and Pressey and Bob Lanier, who had a superlative game the other night. 10 for 12 with 10 rebounds, 21 points in 23 minutes. You couldn't ask for any more. Marcus Johnson. Marcus had 17 points and 8 boards in 38 minutes. And Al Lister, who had 9 rebounds, 6 points, and contributed nicely on that front line. As Don Nelson very proud of his guys, and he has been all year long. Milwaukee 116-95, shot 51% in game 1. Boston 95 points, 41%. Milwaukee, if anything, had a down night at the free throw line. They were 17 of 29. That is 51% rounded, and that coming in the heels of a 75% free throw shooting year. Gerald Henderson, game 1, he had 8 points, 4 for 12. Listen to these guard stats. Danny Ainge, 3 for 9. He had 6 points. Playing with that chopped up finger that he got involved with Tree Rollins on Sunday when Rollins got a little hungry late in the game and took a bite. Here's Robert Parrish, the Chief. 8 for 13, 12 boards, 18 points, but they all came late. There's Cornbread Maxwell. Many people said that he went away for a holiday. He had 4 shots, 12 boards, and 4 points. And Kevin McHale, starting for the Boston Celtics, 10 points, 2 boards. Jimmy Rogers, Bill Fitch in the middle. Now, John, there was, of course, every time you have a situation where you lose a fellow like Bird, everybody breaks out the wood putty and you start filling in between the cracks and try and figure out how you make sense out of what's happening. Many people say that when Bird doesn't play, Maxwell plays better. Of course, McHale gets his chance to shine. But it does one thing, and in this case, it does 2 things. Number 1, psychologically, you take away the best player on Boston, and number 2, you even further hinder their rotation and take away from their depth. Here are your officials tonight. Bill Sarr, the alternate on the right, Ed Middleton in the middle, Earl Strom. The latter 2 will work it tonight.
Okay, a number of things. Obviously, you lose Larry Bird. That's a tremendous loss. But in a one-game situation, a ball club can definitely arise to it. And I think that we will see Maxwell and McHale and Parrish have super games tonight. They're going to have to be dealt with. Maxwell in particular. Now, I don't know if they're going to then come in with Roby, who has done a pretty good job of banging and hitting in there with Lanier, although he may not match up Lanier because Bob plays the first 8 minutes. They might come with Wedman also and then swing McHale over to that center position. They still have enough to work with, but their weakness still is their guard rotation.
Bob Lanier, and foul right away. Lanier and the Bucks trying to jump on Boston right from the get-go.
Eddie, I think there's some other factors here. I think, and this could, of course, burn the Bucks in certain situations, but overall, as you look at it, it is a plus when Bill Fitch continues to go with Ainge and Henderson. They're good ball players, but they still have a lot to learn about the game, and they don't have a tendency to get the ball to the big guys and keep the big guys happy. They have a tendency to look for their shots first. Ainge was told earlier in the year, look for your shot. Therefore, the big guys at times aren't into the game as much as they would like to be or they would like to have them.
0 for 2 Milwaukee. Not a good sign right there, as Lanier and the Bucks have had problems shooting free throws so far in this young series. Danny Ainge, and they're going to try and establish the outside game and press the Bucks full length of the floor. That's what Milwaukee expected. They expected wall-to-wall pressure. You've got a Marcus Johnson that can bring it up for you. That helps. And all the way he goes. Now that's nice to see, and you got a Maxwell on the open floor. I like Milwaukee's chances. McHale deep, kept live. Marcus Johnson, grilled cheese, and no foul. 2-2 a tie. Bob Lanier. Yesterday in practice, Bob had problems with the knee. They had a locked on him at halftime the other night, playing with that floating bone chip. It's a mystery as to how he can play with so little practice. He's done a marvelous job. Way off. Moncrief. Parrish. They cheat a man in the break. Goaltending.
All right, Eddie, that's the one thing the Bucks want to be careful of. Don't let Boston's fast break game get off here early. And we saw Ainge and Henderson both cheating quickly. Ainge coming out on Moncrief, and as the Bucks will do also, continuing on down the floor after he runs at the shooter.
Moncrief. All kinds of strategy. Another thing you might look for is if they're going to try and open up the lane to the hoop for Marcus. They've been giving him a lot of room, but they've had a switch defensively as Pressey misses and Lanier has it. Good strong move by Bob, and he's called for the travel. When Marcus Johnson has the ball, at least when Bird was playing, it noted that Bird would double down away from the ball until Marcus got it. He tried to go back to it, and in that time, Marcus had an opportunity to take it to the hole. So they're going to see if they can get Marcus more isolated one-on-one situations and open up the lane. But notice Milwaukee's spacing offensively. They're giving themselves more opportunity. Danny Ainge, good fake, and a 6-2 Boston lead.
And the Bucks still going for the double team down low. You saw the ball go to Maxwell and the double up. Now at the other end, Boston seems to be playing a little Milwaukee defense here early in the game in regard to once the ball gets inside or close to inside, we're going to see some double up action from the Celtics.
7 seconds on the shot clock. Moncrief on Ainge. He backed off, tried to get isolation on the miss. Lister, and a traveling violation. Second time call by Earl Strong.
That was a good call. That's right. Lister had to hop just a little bit as he got the ball inside, but the Bucks trying to continue to go to the hoop and get those offensive rebounds.
Boston red hot, as I mentioned the other night, here at home the last 4 years, 133-27 now. 33-8 regular season. McHale, and an offensive foul on Kevin McHale as he tried to bang away from Alton Lister. And McHale gets one. That is not a team foul. They have one as a team, however.
Good job by Lister, Eddie. He got in front of McHale just at the right time to force the foul.
McHale, incidentally, with his second personal foul. Lister, good control, and he missed the shot. Milwaukee field goal shooting very cold. Ainge. Give it to Robert Parrish to Gerald Henderson.
Now, Eddie, there was an example. Ainge had Maxwell with Moncrief on him, an advantage inside, and he passes the ball the other direction.
And the Bucks save from going out of bounds, and it's Bob Lanier after the save by Paul Pressey. 6'2", need one, won't get it here. Marcus, 360, and in and outer, kept live, and Boston getting back. They got a 2-on-2. Henderson over Lister, and a foul. This program, authorized by Milwaukee Pro, intended solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast or other use without the express written consent of Milwaukee Pro and WVTV is prohibited. So Lister with a foul. And credit Henderson with good foresight that time to get the job done when he had a big man on him, and Rudy put the pressure on him by getting him backpedaling and try to lean into him to get the foul, and he did.
Oh, Eddie, in the first 3 minutes of this ball game, it's been the Celtic guards, the two young guys, keeping the pressure on Milwaukee. And of course, they're going to come out and assert themselves, but again, they have a tendency to look for their shots first. Now, if they go in, fine, but of course, they're the guys that the Bucks are leaving to create some double team action as Brian Winters comes in, Paul Pressey out. The Bucks having a difficult time finding the hoop at this point.
7-2. Henderson, pretty good free throw shooter. Boston so far has been flawless. Milwaukee missing the 2 free throws right at the beginning, and Bryan getting a back pick by Lanier to free himself, and you see the Boston pressure. Dish it off. Milwaukee may get open opportunities outside, as will Boston. There's Lanier. Strong move, Bryan. And again missing. Outlet, Henderson again. And Don Nelson will call time. And Boston taking advantage of a Milwaukee deficiency and not getting back to cover the other end. Boston 10, Milwaukee 2. Chin-2, Milwaukee with the ball. Bryan, Marcus got to find a way to hit it outside and do. Chin-2, now Chin-4. Biggest lead Boston had at any time the other night was 7. So their biggest lead tonight already surpassed their largest on Wednesday night. Danny Ainge going to Kevin McHale. Ainge playing with that sore finger. Has a light wrap on it. Down to Parrish on Lanier. They double down on him. So far, the Bucks not quite as aggressive as they were the other night. And Gerald Henderson off to a great start. Henderson has eaten the Bucks alive here so far, as it's a 12-4 ball game. Marcus with a block and knocked out of bounds by Boston. Henderson with 6 of Boston's 12.
Good defense by Maxwell on the block. At the other end, the Bucks played the good defense. They just made the play, and here's the block by Maxwell. This is exactly the kind of start you really don't want to give Boston, because without Bird and the loss the other night, you would like to get them down quickly.
Bob Lanier having a hard time getting his shot. They're concentrating on him more tonight. Maxwell, Henderson, he's been hot. And Brian Winters has got it. Has Moncrief ahead on the left, Marcus ahead on the right. Good reverse dribble in the man. Oh, what a beautiful opportunity he had, and he couldn't hit it. He created a great opportunity and could not hit the shot. There's Ainge trying to build up the big lead. Maxwell, offensive foul. Cornbread Maxwell, as Lister hung right in there and helped out beautifully.
Excellent play by Lister, and the mistake Maxwell made, and you'll see it here, he goes for the fake. And a lot of players will do this when they don't have to. Look at that. If he'd have taken the ball in right away, he would have had an easy 2. Instead, he gets the wipe away.
Boston, on our scouting report, likes to bait you on their shots. That's exactly what he did. Pump fake once or twice. Although of the group, the best finisher in that front line is Maxwell, and he didn't finish that time. And another turnover as they're all over Moncrief. Here comes Ainge. Bucks get back this time to cover. Looks good. In and out. Lister can't hang on. Harris with it in and out of the lane. So things not going well for Milwaukee so far.
Eddie, that was good defense by Boston. And you can see when Moncrief in particular gets the ball inside or on the baseline, he's going to see double team action.
Harris double team. Swing it back to an open Ainge. That looks good.
It's all their guards. Now, I said these aren't the guys you would want in there. Preferably for Boston, I think you'd rather have the veterans in there, but Fitch staying with the young guards, and they're responding at this point offensively.
Well, they're giving the Bucks all the outside shots and coming down on them inside. Marcus Johnson, double pump, and he put it in. Almost got a foul, and then concentrates on getting back the other end to cover Maxwell. Marcus on Maxwell, Lister on McHale. You have Lanier on Parrish, and Bryant doubling down on the ball. Back to Ainge. You see how they're spreading out their offense? Doing a much better job. Maxwell. 16-6. Boston by 10. And the crowd so far here in Boston loving it. Ainge on Moncrief, and they've shut Sidney down pretty well. Bucks trying to get something going. They will slow the ball down unless they create an opportunity to run. Lanier in and out. And Bob Lanier.
Well, that's why you need that strength in there. He just muscled in and got the ball back. And Boston so far is rotating the ball very, very well on the Bucks double up.
Bob Lanier will get this foul, John, I'm sure.
Yep.
He did everything but throw a rope around Parrish. That's right. This will get a roar from the crowd. Bob Lanier on the foul, 16-8. Boston, and there's that little curl they run for their guards off the stack, and now it breaks down into a single shot. McHale over Lister. Good block out inside, but the Bucks can't hang on, and Lanier gets another foul. And he incites the crowd here at the Garden.
Well, Lanier had great position, look, but the ball hits the front of the rim as it comes down. Bob did everything he should do. You just can't always plan for that. And therefore, it gave Parrish good shooting position and the offensive rebound, which put him on the line.
16-8's the score. Don't forget, first game in Milwaukee Sunday. You use your Game A ticket stub, and then the second game Monday. Game B tickets. The Bucks ticket office will be open tomorrow 9 till noon. 9 to noon, Bucks ticket office. Boston 4 for 4 at the line. Boston for the year 74%. So far in the playoffs, 4 games, Boston 78%. So they're shooting much better at the line than they are from the field, where they're 42% in 4 playoff games. Now Henderson caught for a hold.
That's only their second team foul.
Yeah, that's right. But Henderson is all over Sidney Moncrief so far, doing a great job. And Don Nelson's going to run a 4-play.
Well, the Bucks in the first game, they ran much of their offense to Moncrief and a lot of it low. Boston is trying to adjust to that. Henderson's a good defensive player, and when he does get caught behind Moncrief inside and the ball will go in, that's when they'll look for the double up.
There's your man, Moncrief, trying to create a foul call. Well, that's one way to try and get even. You create a situation where you draw a foul and you go to the line. Watch what Moncrief does as they spread him out.
Well, look at it. He started up in a post-up, and then he moves out to get the ball. Therefore, it's more difficult to double-team him right away because he's facing the basket. Then with a good penetration inside, he draws the foul.
Important for Moncrief, as he was telling us, to hit his first free throw.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Important for Sidney to hit his first free throw.
That's what he was telling us today. Yeah, he said that that happened to him one other time, the way he shot the games the other night, or shot the free throws the other night, and he just felt a little stiff.
Notice how much time he took right there. Grab a Miller while you have the opportunity. Welcome to Miller time. Cold and refreshing. Hope somebody's home there at Miller. Watching the Bucks on TV tonight. 18-9. 18-10. Moncrief with his first 2 points of the ball game. Sid the other night had 22. 10 for 17 from the floor, 2 for 7 at the line. He missed 5 free throws, and he's an 80+% shooter. Solo action, Parrish. Tough shot.
Which way did he turn?
Well, he turned back that time to his right, which is where he likes to turn.
That's where he always turns.
But when he fades away at 7+, he's tough to stop. Moncrief saves, and he can't save. He hit a sweet spot on the baseline, and out of bounds it went on this ancient parquet floor. Look at them come up. Henderson quickly comes up. Lanier steps out, forces him back. Henderson baseline. Well, they're going to have to do something with him. They lead by 12.
Eddie, that was the play I was talking about. The Bucks adjusted on. They wanted to show him that because that was a pick and pop or a pick and roll. They'll run it both ways. But Henderson is playing some ball.
He has 8 points. Moncrief, they double him up. Now there's a man open. They had to rotate up, and it was Parrish, and Marcus forced to shoot it outside and deep and hit it. But Boston's inside defense is giving up nothing here.
They seem to be keying on Moncrief's offense. Wherever he is, that's where they'll double up.
Wow, John, is that a tough percentage shot or what?
Yeah, finally he turned to the left. That's the first time in the last game and this game we've seen him turn that direction.
Marcus again outside. Not this time. And Lanier beats his man to the ball. Drop around, leave that time for Brian Winters.
Yes, using the screens.
Got some nice string music there, doesn't he? 22-14. And the Celtics will call time with 3:16 to play in the period. We'll be right back. Once again tonight, we have our Hopkins Savings Rebound question. And you can participate by calling one of the 2 numbers that you see on your television screen right now. If a decision is made to build a new arena, would you support it? That's the question. And how would you do it? 1, through taxes. 2, higher ticket prices. If they decided to build a new arena, would you support it? And would you do it through taxes or through higher ticket prices?
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, boy.
Let's not procrastinate.
A lot of hairs curling right now. 22-14. Danny Ainge. He ran that play beautifully.
Yep, double screen. He continued through. Good continuation, and the 2 guards do it all.
Quick pop up. Their guards have 18 of their 24 points. Coming into this game, their guards were 17 for 47 in the playoffs. Not so tonight. They're lighting the Bucks up. Harvey catching's in. Give it a Lister down on Parrish. Lanier out. And the big guy's got one. Nice little turnaround. He wanted the ball from the time they got down into the Bucks offensive end. They got it to him and he scored. He knew what he was talking about. McHale, Lister with a block. Bucks have got it. Bryant up ahead looking, and will keep him bring it up. Notice how he dribbles with his head up. All the way to the corner, they double him up. Brings it back out of congestion. Marcus in on Maxwell. Double down. And Henderson again. Nice defense by Boston. Excellent defense by Boston. Waiting for Marcus to reverse the dribble and then stepping up in anticipation.
Now look at this. It's called keying on the ball. Henderson does it just as Marcus turns inside, and the Celtics defense definitely coming to the ball better than it did in the first game and shutting off the Bucks on that type of play.
Harvey, they double down. They're doubling every time it goes inside, and Moncrief is not getting good shots. And Harvey gets an open tip. Harvey Cadgins, who says he feels super. 26-18. Harvey's been playing some great ball. He had 5 block shots the other night. He played 17 minutes, and he had a bunch of rebounds to go with it. He was great. Danny Ainge. Boy, they got to do something with these guys. They're lighting the Bucks up.
Yeah, but Eddie, you got to realize this. They're the guys that are being left open for the double team.
Right.
They did not make the baskets that consistently against Atlanta, except the ones Quinn made. They did not make it against the Bucks in the first game. Now they're getting open shots and making them.
And Moncrief as they switched over on him to try and pick him up on the backdoor move. Lister looks like he's hurting a little bit. Junior will come in. Watch this now.
This is just taking it and doing some super effort to draw the foul, one-on-one situation. And it appears that the Celtics have done a pretty good job defensively of taking the Bucks out of their initial offense, and then it's just breaking down into some one-on-one action and creativity by the Bucks players.
Scott Wedman talking to Bill Fitch, and he's going to get set to come in. This is as early as you'll ever see him come into the game. Wedman was 0 for 3 in 6 minutes, but he is a scorer. And Kevin McHale will go out. There's Scott Wedman right there. 6'7", about 220, a veteran.
Now you see what they're probably going to do, Eddie, and we weren't sure because Bill Fitch is a little tight-lipped to us before the game. They'll probably then rest McHale and bring him in probably for Parrish at the center position. Maybe they won't come with Roby as early as we might have suspected.
And the Bucks now 4 for 6 at the line. Moncrief has all 4. It's 28-20. So they have had to change their substitution rotation. In they go to Maxwell. Maxwell, Bryan doubling down to help. There's Ainge on the outside. And that's what John was talking about. When they double inside, and that leaves somebody open outside, and it's up to the Boston guards to get the job done. So far they have. Bryan, nope. Wedman, who just came in a loose ball foul. So Scott Wedman and the loose ball foul. Harvey Catchings gets the foul.
Oh, yeah, I see. Catchings and Wedman got caught up together, and Harvey's saying, hey, he was as much responsible for hooking my arm as I was in there. That could go either way. But, of course, it goes against Harvey, and that's 4 and 4, team foul.
Now, here's what Boston got Wedman for. We'll see if he delivers. He's only averaged 5 minutes a game in the 4 playoff games. See how they double on Parrish? Henderson open again. And the Bucks gamble that time paid off. Double on the power inside. Allow the Boston guards the opportunities outside. Junior Bridgman, Moncrief, Brian Winters, Lister, and Catchings in there for Milwaukee right now. They have Maxwell, Parrish, and Wedman. The shot clock down to the final 3 seconds in the period. Junior won't get it away. He hit it. He hit it, and it counts. And it counts.
I don't think he got it off in time.
I don't either. I really don't. But they're going to mark it, I believe. And that is the end of one. Boston 28, Milwaukee 22. (28-22), the Boston Celtics countering the Bucks inside double-up strategy with outside shooting by their guards. And so far, they've done a nice job. Henderson with 10, Ainge with 12. 22 of the 28 Boston points from their guard line. Milwaukee will start with Junior Bridgman, Moncrief, Brian Winters, Alton Lister, and Harvey Catchings. Boston with Cedric Maxwell, Robert Parrish, Danny Ainge, Scott Wedman, and Gerald Henderson. And a good lather going here by the players performing on a very hot, muggy night in Boston. Underway. See what Milwaukee does now. Bridgman playing on Wedman. Wedman with a couple of inches and a lot of pounds. Parrish again, in and out. And Maxwell just threw it up. He wanted a foul, he didn't get it. And Maxwell upset.
I hope this is not a sign of what's going to happen all evening. It was a magnificent effort by Maxwell, but a little luck didn't hurt.
And at the other end, we have a foul call. At the other end, we have a foul call as you were watching the replay.
Parrish, I believe. No, Henderson.
On Gerald Henderson, he's got 2. They have 1. Bob Lanier out, Marcus Johnson out. Bucks trailing by 8. Brian Winters on Danny Ainge. So far, Ainge a good defensive player, by the way. They double up on Lister. Shot clock at 12. Look at them bothering. Brian over Ainge. Tough shot. Wow. Tough shot.
We've seen that before, haven't we?
Well, that's one way, John, that they're going to ring Boston's bell. If you can get good outside shooting out of Brian Winters and Junior Bridgman. And I'm watching a little shoving and pushing going on off the ball. Maxwell active, no foul, and no traveling. And Moncrief, who had 8 rebounds on Wednesday, gets it. 30-24. Bridgman, oh, he walked by Wedman right there, and he hit it. Oh, what a move he made on Scott Wedman, and Wedman was completely, as they say in the playground, faked out.
And one reason Brian Winters got into this game so early for Paul Presti is because Nelson saw the doubling up by the guards routinely happening. Therefore, he wanted that jump shooting ability in there.
Need that perimeter shot, and that's why Brian's in there, and he'll probably play a lot of minutes tonight. There's Ainge with their perimeter shot. Ainge showing me a much better perimeter shot than I ever thought he had. As a collegiate, I watched him play, and he had a great driving move to the hoop. Bridgman on the miss. Kept live Boston. Ainge regular season, 50%, but a lot inside. Wedman. And right away, they're back to an 8-point lead. Milwaukee had it down to 4, and Boston on that outside perimeter shot now has opened up an 8-point lead.
You know, if you're Boston, you love having a guy like Scott Wedman to come in and fill in for a Larry Bird, but I have no idea what type of condition he's in because he has not played much time at all.
Bryant, and foul. And look at bodies strewn all over the place. And a Boston foul. Bryant knocked down hard. Parrish was on the floor. Henderson was askew. And Bob Lanier will come back, and Alton Lister will go out. Now Tiny Archibald for the first time. Archibald got a lot of points, but he got most of them when they didn't count the other night. He had 23 points on 6 for 17 from the floor. And Henderson, who did a great job, will go out.
Well, he gets a good round of applause, and he should. Now, Archibald, I know when he comes into the ball game, Eddie, one thing he wants playing time, and he wants to keep the pressure on offensively. He wants to try to penetrate. He wants to advance the ball up the floor and keep coming at Milwaukee as much as he possibly can. Of course, that's nothing new. That's how he's played most of his career.
Brian Winters at the line, makes the first, and now he'll try his hand at the second. Brian, veteran, been around a long time. South Carolina, formerly a top draft pick of the Los Angeles Lakers, came over in the deal with Myers and Bridgman for Kareem. And a great player for Milwaukee. Brian, regular season, 86% at the free throw line. And the Bucks now 6 for 8 at the line. Maxwell, look at how they double down on the inside. 34-28, outside open again.
Well, Ainge getting that open shot again, and that's a piece of cake for a shooter. I know I love to get that type of play when a team would double up. Boston's moving the ball well. They missed him the other night, and tonight they're making it.
And again, Boston hustling down the floor. They have a 2-on-1. Ainge. Boy, Danny Ainge is going to have a career high here. He's got 18 points. 38-30.
Well, if he can continue to do that, it's going to make the Bucks adjust. They're going to have to play him, and that should help open it up inside for Boston's big guys in to get more in a post-up situation.
Ryan down deep, junior. Wedman out on him. Wedman having to work hard on his own to keep in shape. Look at Moncrief.
Great play.
Drew the defense from the left side, scooped it up with the right hand. 38-32. Turnover. Not many of those for Boston. That is only the Boston. So, well, it's 5. Number 5.
Now Tiny. That's a passer for you. He's threw it 10 feet in front of Ainge, and is telling Ainge it should have caught it.
Boston's biggest lead was 12, 22-10. Milwaukee trailing it now by 6. Moncrief, look at how they double him. Notice how the Bucks have spread their offense. They give them room to maneuver inside, so they have to go that way. Little pick and roll. Bob Lanier, left-hand banker, no. Lanier keeps it live. Loose ball foul, 24-second violation. So a pair of turnovers. Number 5 on the Bucks. Don Nelson in Milwaukee. 38-32 score. Knocked away as the Bucks got back. Whenever they get ahead, they're trying to beat Lanier down the floor, taking advantage of the fact that he's got sore knees. So someone is going to have to help out on Parrish. Bob high, too high. And here comes Maxwell. Look at him handle the ball on the break as he did at UNC Charlotte. He's got 6 and they lead by 8. Boston with a great first half so far. Now we talked about how the Bucks executed their game plan on Wednesday. Boston with a good game plan tonight, preventing the Bucks from doing what they want to do and then taking advantage of the open outside shots. Lanier, not this time. Moncrief knocked away, off his hands, out of bounds. Another turnover on Milwaukee, number 6.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers and hurting Milwaukee at this point. Sidney's had 3 inside on the baseline, but you see a lot more pressure applied by Boston in regard to the defense, which is helping force those turnovers, and they're capitalizing on them. Boston's playing well.
Boston's playing great. Bucks 40% or 39% in the first period. Boston 63. Wedman. Well, good move. He's a great shooter.
Yeah. They're getting a lot of open jump shots because they've really adjusted well to that Bucks defense.
And now Don Nelson calling time. Will he make a change? Let's find out. 42-32 Boston when we come back. They lead by 10 with 7 to play in the half, and Larry Bird is home with this flu with 104-degree temperature. They've done a great job here, trailing 1-0 in the series.
Eddie, I think we should reiterate the fact that in all 4 of their playoff games against Atlanta and Milwaukee, they've shot 41% as a team. And now they are smoking, and they had to be due.
Wedman doing a nice job. Here's Danny Ainge. Once you get the hot hand, you get into a rhythm. You get into a flow. And it's almost tough to break that cycle when you have this quality of player. There's Parrish over Lanier. And Moncrief with another rebound. The Bucks were out-rebounded 12-9, and Boston had 7 offensive rebounds to Milwaukee's 2 in the first period. That's a significant statistic.
Now the Bucks, with their small team in there, they feel Boston has had a hard time matching that quickness. But with this lineup Boston has, they can match it much better.
Marcus.
Don't fake.
And a foul call on Parrish. The double pump, and Marcus drew Parrish into the foul. And that for Robert Parrish is number 3.
Now you see the Bucks come back with the ball. Now Marcus tried to show the ball to Parrish. Parrish plays it quite well. He doesn't go for the fakes and leave the floor. Marcus trying to get him to do that, only has so much time in that 3-second area to get that shot off.
Charlie Chris coming in for Milwaukee. And Kevin McHale will lead Robert Parrish. Bucks are 6 for 8 at the line. Brian Winters out. Charlie Chris is in. Grab yourself a Miller. This is going to be a real battle here tonight. 6 for 9 at the line. Milwaukee. Game 1, little Charlie, 2 for 5, 4 points. Milwaukee, 2 missed free throws. The free throw shooting has not been good by the Bucks. 42-32, Boston. And they give them to you for nothing, boy. You got to take advantage of it. They double down on Maxwell, clear it back to Tiny. Sag, give it to him open. In and out. Moncrief with yet another rebound. He must have 5-6. There's Lanier. Give it a little Charles. Played by Danny Ainge. Again, we want to call to your attention the spacing. Look at how far out Moncrief starts with the ball. And no foul. As Wedman, not a great rebounder. Tiny lost it. Wedman, good shooter. 12-point Boston lead. And another timeout. This one a 22nd timeout, I believe. I'm not sure. Wait a minute. Nope. Another timeout. Boston 44, Milwaukee 32. 44-32. Don't forget, Sunday, May 1. That game starts at noon. And then on Monday, it's a 7 o'clock start. They use Ticket Game A and Ticket Game B. And there are still some seats available. And the Bucks ticket office is open tomorrow from 9 until noon. Charlie Chris, Bob Lanier. On McHale. Open. Marcus Moncrief. Boston defense working extra hard tonight. McHale really denying Lanier. There he is. And once he gets that deep, he's very tough to stop. And McHale doing a nice job. And it's a 10-point game.
You know, Eddie, the Bucks got inside that time on running the play well. Lanier with good off-ball movement. But in that first game, the Bucks got so many inside shots in that 3-second area. It was amazing. In this game already, they've had a very difficult time getting inside. And that's an illegal defensive warning on Moncrief on the weak side.
And Moncrief said, hey, I was outside the hash mark. I wasn't in the inner lane. And you can stand in that outer lane. You can stand on that outside lane, but you can't get on that inside lane. He didn't break a plane, did he, John?
And what he was pointing to was the lane area when he really had to be looking at the hash mark on the baseline, which he was not outside of. And that's what Ed Middleton, the official, pointed to.
Open again. Well, they're running some great picks down deep, John. They're running some back screens and picks.
Yeah, but with the lineup the Bucks have in there, Eddie, all you have to do is switch. It doesn't matter. They have a small team. They're going to have to switch on those. You can't give Wedman that open shot if you can help it.
46-34. Alton Lister will get set to come back for Milwaukee. Boston with a big lead. Now they've got Junior posted in deep. Moncrief. Nope. And a loose ball foul called against one of the Bucks. Or was it on Boston? Boston. On Scott Wedman. That's his first and the 4th on the Boston Celtics. And we're down to 4:07, trailing by 12 here in the first half.
Now, in this next 4 minutes, you'd like to cut that lead down, Eddie, just to have a little bit closer situation going into halftime.
Charlie, no, he doesn't get it.
It's jump shots. Well, of course, you like to see him shoot jump shots because he can shoot them.
You get it in the hands of your good shooters, and you got to hope that they can make them, and that's usually a money in the banker for Charlie. Tiny, they swing it to Ainge. There he is. Boston just rotating the ball around the periphery.
That's right. They're finding the open man, and they know the open man's going to be the second pass away, which is that second guard because of the way the Bucks' defensive rotation is working.
Biggest lead of the game, Boston by 14. Junior Bridgman off the screen by Lister. And Milwaukee not hitting their shots outside. And Boston putting the pressure on the other end. Wedman to Ainge, trying to keep the heat on. And fouled on the play. Danny Ainge with 22 points in the first half.
Super move by Ainge. Now you see Moncrief coming out to play Ainge for the jump shot because of the way he's been knocking it in. And then when you come up on him defensively, you have to be prepared to take it to the basket. He makes a super move there. He's playing an excellent first half. He's also getting a lot of wide open shots that he's missed for 4 games, and he's finally knocking them in, and a good shooter should do that.
Danny Ainge, what a half he is having. And Charlie Chris now bringing it up with Marcus and Alton Lister. Paul Pressey, Junior Bridgman. That's the Bucks lineup. Alton Lister. And that'll be foul number 5 on Boston. So at the line, that's a little bit of a break with 3:01 to play here in the first half. What we saw the other night from Milwaukee, we're seeing here tonight from Boston. Completely lopsided so far, and Bridgman going to the line on Wedman's second foul.
Well, what's happening because of the Boston defense and the Bucks' inability to get inside, and this happened in reverse as you indicated the last game, is that the Bucks now, their offense, Eddie, seems to be coming away from the basket looking for the jump shot. In other words, the double screens, the single screens for the guys down underneath, the guys coming out away getting the jump shot. Well, the Bucks can knock those in if the right people shoot them, but it's not the same percentage game as going inside. But when the defense is good, it's hard to get inside.
Milwaukee without Lister on Kevin McHale. They double down. There's McHale. Double pump. Looks for the foul. Rolls out. Good block out inside. And Lister goes to little Charlie. 51-36. Boston. Not even close on that one. 51-36 by 15. Archibald.
Well, I wouldn't have believed this without Larry Bird, that they would have this type of a lead, but Boston's done just what you thought they might. They knew they had to come out and get this game and try to get off early.
2:10 to play here in the half. 53-36. And Pressey dribbling the ball a long time, and they finally get it to Marcus with an open side, and he can lean in and turn that banker down. 53-38.
Now,
too deep. Blocked by Lister. Good block by Lister. Marcus Johnson. That's one way to relieve the pressure. You get Marcus to bring the ball up. That helps out a little bit. Pressey. No goaltend. No block. Archibald on Junior.
Automatic.
Offensive foul. Now, there aren't many officials that'll make that call. Earl Strom is one of the very few.
All right, I have to eat my words there. We said it the other night. Very seldom will you see it ever called against Archibald. And on that play, it certainly was.
That's Pressey. Get it back to Junior. And the outside shot doesn't want to fall, but finally the hoop swallows one. There's Wedman.
Man, you can't do that. You know, you got to shut that guy down, and who's ever on him, you have to stay with him. You can't lean into somebody else and give Wedman the open shot because he is such a good outside shooter, but then that's where Archibald helps. He gives you the penetration.
He's got 10 points. Now Earl Strom calling a momentary pause in the action to talk to Fitch about something. How can they do that? Wait a minute. What are they saying here? They're going to give it to Milwaukee's side back. And with 18 seconds on the shot clock, they just stopped the action to make an explanation. I don't understand what happened there.
Well, we won't know up here right away.
I'd like to know what that's all about. Lister pressing, too deep. Good move by Paul. Oh, my goodness. And then he steals it back. Don't get too frisky now. And it's good. And Marcus, at the last moment, threw the hands back for fear of committing an offensive goaltending situation. 55-42. And now we got something going between McHale and Lister underneath. Well, you can't afford to lose either one of those, depending upon who you're rooting for. Technical foul called on whom?
On Lister.
Oh, boy.
I didn't see what happened. It was a good foul by Charlie Chris in that situation because Archibald was coming right at him and he was going to get by him. The Bucks with only one team foul. Now you see Lister taking. Now watch. Archibald swings at Lister and Lister gets a technical foul. Now you explain that to me. Archibald swung at Lister because when he came through, Archibald penetrated inside. Lister then took another foul on him and Archibald swung at him.
Well, we have 30 seconds in the half. And you can write this half off. Has not been a good one for Milwaukee as Maxwell going to the line missed on it. And on the foul, the play will be, let's see now, they'll give it over to Boston with a full-blown 24-second clock, and there's only 30 seconds in the half. Gee whiz. .22 seconds, and they're rolling the clock off as Tiny sits on it now. And they'll work for a final shot. And Milwaukee wanted to get Brian Winters in there. They're isolating on Charlie. There's Wedman. He's been hot. He's got 12 points. Red hot shooting by Wedman. And Boston with a 15-point lead. Three-pointer not there. But a foul call with 2 seconds to play here in the first half.
No, I don't think it is a foul.
No, it isn't. It's a timeout, Milwaukee. A 20-second timeout, Milwaukee. Well, you only get one per team per half, and Milwaukee took it. And now Bill Fitch is wanting to know what the heck happened. Well, when did he call that timeout? How many seconds were left on the clock? When he took the shot, there were 2 seconds left. Are they going to leave it there? Evidently.
Yeah, it looks like it. What happened is as Junior was bringing it up to look for the shot, one of his teammates was calling the 20-second timeout on the back line just beyond the timeline to Ed Middleton. So he made that call. The Bucks now will get the ball back and a last shot opportunity, down 57-42.
And 45 of their first half points have come from the outside. And now we're going to have a 20-second timeout, Boston. So Boston will use their 20-second timeout. Jimmy Rogers, K.C. Jones, Bill Fitch. The strategy turning here is Rick Roby will get set to come in here for the Boston Celtics. Milwaukee struggling here in the first half. I should clarify, John, not struggling. They had a game plan, and their game plan was to double inside.
Right.
So they're living and dying by their game plan right now. So we'll have to wait to find out what they decide they're going to do here in the second half.
But, and it was a good game plan. It worked the other night, and we've just seen a reversal of roles here tonight. Boston knocking the shot in and getting inside at times, but knocking the shot in outside when they're getting the open shot, and the Bucks just not shooting as well.
Now you get 5 to get it in, and Bridgman forcing the shot. Got it away, but it didn't go. So at halftime, Boston by 15 points. The Celtics 57 and the Bucks 42. There is a star right there, Scott Wedman. Little used, laboring in anonymity here in Boston. Rust growing on his hinges, wondering what he was supposed to be doing here after they made the deal in January or February before the trading deadline in exchange for Tillis, their #1 pick, and saying, hey, I'm wasting my career away. Well, he found out because this one game here tonight, at least this one half, has put him in pretty good position. And Boston may need him, John, because McHale's a free agent at the end of the year. And if he goes elsewhere, Wedman would be the natural guy to move on.
That's right. That's a good point. And he's doing a job here tonight not getting that much playing time on the year, and that's not an easy thing to do. Now, the job those guards did the first half. Now, if you let the big guys inside get hot, you got a real problem, but Ainge counters quickly in one-on-one basketball.
Danny Ainge with 25 points in the ball game. Boston again with their second biggest lead of the game. Twice they've had 17 pointers. Little give and go, Moncrief, and foul as Kevin McHale got a piece of him. For McHale, that should be number 3. That should be number 3.
At this situation, Eddie, the Bucks, when you get down this much, you can't just trade baskets. That's when your defense becomes important, and you have to stop them as well as pick up your shooting percentage.
And also, John, this man right here, Sidney Moncrief, has got to get more active, and they've done a nice job on him tonight.
Yes, they have. They've keyed there in that situation, and whenever he gets the ball low especially, and that's what the Bucks went to early in the first game. But when they get the ball low now, you're going to see a lot of double-up action on Sidney.
Sidney only had 6 points in the first half. And now Sid Moncrief gives the Bucks a 9 for 13 free throw shooting tonight. Now that's 10 for 14, pardon me. Boston trying to go to Maxwell. And he tight ropes it to keep it in play with 8 seconds on the clock. Ainge having a career. He's already got a new season high. His previous high was 24. And a turnover on Milwaukee. Number 7 in the Bucks. Boston with 8.
That bounce pass can sometimes scoot on you, and it looked like it did just for a moment there as Marcus couldn't quite catch up with it.
The Bucks have got to find a way right now to try and cut this lead before it gets too far along in the third. Henderson, Ainge, their guards. McHale, Parrish, and Maxwell, their front line. That's the way they started. If you just joined, Larry Bird's sick, not here. McHale yet to score from the field. And it'll stay that way. Milwaukee blocking off very well inside. And Marcus Johnson bringing it up. And they've got Moncrief set way off to the far side away from the ball, overstacked on the left side. They start it and have an interchange. On the switch up, there's Henderson. And Moncrief can't get a foul, and the Celtics have got the rebound. Danny Ainge, hot again. And out Lister looking to get it out. Up to Moncrief on Parrish. Pressey ahead, Lanier down the lane. Knocked out of bounds by Boston's Kevin McHale.
And the Bucks getting a little bit of a running game going there for one of the few times tonight, but as you could see, still having a hard time getting the ball, go into the basket. McHale's the guy that did knock that out.
Interested looker, that's Bill Fitch. And it's 59-46. Bucks had it down to as few as 4 after Boston got out to the big lead. And then Boston bumped it twice to 17. And they've had a 17-point lead here in the third period. They give him the back door on the little pick and slip. 3-point opportunity. Now they made a great move that time. They got the big guy Lister to commit to the man going back door, and they slipped it to McHale, who came in behind the crowd, and he drew a foul.
And it's the guard again creating the situation, and I said at the start of this game these guards would not be as effective as the 2 veterans. They certainly have been, and they've really responded to that challenge, not only in scoring but in that situation, penetrating, drawing the defense, dishing it off for 3 points.
And Boston 62-46 a lead, and they are 6 for 7 at the line. Pressey, Moncrief, out Lanier, out Lister, Marcus Johnson. Not an effective group so far. Paul Pressey, Henderson trying to go into an acting job and not getting the call from Ed Middleton.
That's a set play for Milwaukee to take advantage of Pressey inside with his size.
62-48 on the give and go. And a foul. Oh, what a beautiful execution that was. They really spread their offense out, and they delayed Henderson on the flash down the lane.
Now watch Henderson. You probably won't be able to see him. Now watch. See him out high. He sees the ball. He beats Sidney just for a moment because Sidney was looking to the ball. That's, of course, the passing lane area straight down the middle, and Henderson with good quickness, and it's the guards again making their presence felt.
6 for 8 at the line. Gerald Henderson, Danny Ainge having a night. Moncrief's having a problem. They're all over him, and he gets it over the timeline with 2 seconds to spare. Moncrief with a stop and go. Challenges Parrish. Sidney looks like he's starting to get frustrated. Shot clock down to 5. Got to get it away right here. Lister, good move by Alton Lister. Now they shot it with 3 seconds on the clock. 64-50. Boston by 14. We're under 8:50 to play in the third period. 3 times Boston's led by 17. And Boston now letting the air out a little bit. Henderson outside. And they'll give it to Moncrief and let him bring it up. Oh boy, it looks like the Bucks are playing in some quicksand now. Now it is hot and humid in here. That's not an excuse because it works on both sides. I think all these players are going to feel the effects of this one. That's Junior Bridgman.
Nicely run play. Junior set a screen, a back screen for Marcus underneath to create the mismatch. Then he popped around another screen for the jumper on the weak side.
McHale, those sag give him that open shot. Now he takes it in deeper. That's good. That's good percentage territory. That's the toughest shot he's tried all night for his first 2-pointer.
Well, they got it going because they're making all those jump shots and they're falling down. They said that they would like to see McHale do a little bit more going to the hoop when he gets that post up, but he always looks for the jump shot.
Turnover Milwaukee. Number 8 on the Bucks. 68-52. And Danny Ainge and Gerald Henderson. And I bet a lot of the newspaper people here in Boston who have been ripping this Celtic team for 2 straight days are wondering what they're going to come up with tomorrow. Do they eat crow? This Boston club has done a great job here tonight. That's Marcus. He read that play beautifully.
Perfect timing.
He read it all the way from the weak side, too. Sidney, good quick move. Oh, golly. Alton Lister. Moncrief's timing is off all the way around, Johnny. He knows what he wants to do, but it just won't work for him.
Well, you know, Eddie, they're keying on him, and that's the problem. That time he took it in on a 7-foot man, and he just overlaid, but Lister read it well.
Down to 7 in the third. Henderson Ainge trying to soften up and allow that open opportunity outside again. And Marcus Johnson with a little show and give. Moncrief up ahead to Bob Lanier. Need him to get active also. Junior over on the near screen. Bango and Bill Fitch will call time. Milwaukee's starting to run some plays, but they're getting more open opportunities outside. And with 6:41, the Boston Celtics by 12. We'll be right back. Rhonda Buckner wants to say hello to Dick, Donna, and the kids back in Milwaukee. Yeah. It's 68-56.
And we want to say hello to Ethelyn Shadle. Hope she's doing well.
You bet. Great Bucks fan right there. That's Kevin McHale. All of a sudden, McHale is getting a little life.
Well, see, that's the point, Eddie. You know, those little guys kept it going, and of course, Wedman. And eventually, you're going to start opening it up inside for the big guys to start doing something because they didn't do much the first half for Boston.
There's Milwaukee trying to spread it out again. Marcus outside. Well, I'm telling you, folks, it is warm here tonight. Wouldn't a Miller taste good right now? Welcome to Miller time. 70-58 to score this one. Boston by 12. 5:53 to play in the third. Plenty of time. Got to find a way to cool him down a little bit. Bridgman. Parrish sets up on Lanier. Bob yields, no ground. There he is. Parrish. That's a good shot. That's as good a shot as Parrish is ever going to get. That's his kind of shot.
That's right. Tough shot, too. He was almost behind the glass.
See the way Henderson took Marcus's move away? Sidney on the baseline. Comes over the crowd and lays it in. He knew where all his people were, and he used them as
That's
a
right.
line.
Matter of fact, it reminded me of Oscar, the way he dribbled into the defense that time.
Got a break. Junior gets in the middle. Dishes it to Moncrief, and he put it in anyway.
Oh.
Almost a busted break. Junior may have almost held it too long.
That's right, and when he flipped it over, Sidney kind of giving him a little look because Junior flipped it a little too hard. Good hands. Moncrief has super hands. On a 3-on-1, you don't want to lose that.
And a great move by Junior to curl to the middle. You saw the way he and
That's
Sidney
right.
interchanged on the fly. He got to the middle to see both lanes on the break.
That's right.
Danny
You know that
Ainge.
stuff, don't you?
Once in a while. Parrish.
Which way is he turn? Got to turn him the other way, Eddie. He's not as effective that way.
Well, when he turns that way, you got to have somebody come up and ride him on that side. That was the original theory coming into the series.
He hit some tough shots.
Bob Lanier. And Lanier gets one to go down. That's only his 6th point of the game. 74-64. McHale ahead. Lister knocked it away. They had an open lane, and they tried to find McHale, and Lister snuck in. And Marcus turns it over.
Great effort by Ainge. That's a 4-point swing.
Sure was. Bad turnover right there. 76-64 score. Timeout, 4:11 in the third.
That's a 4-point swing. That was a shot right there. Shot at it. We've been down by 8, right?
It's 76-64. The Boston Celtics, 4:11 to play in the third. Milwaukee, the last 3 years, has won 60, 53, and 51. Rather successful, I would say. Boston also a very successful team over that stretch. And with the world's title thrown in, Danny Ainge started out baseball with the Toronto Blue Jays. Big controversial dispute as to how they're going to swing him over to basketball. Finally did it. There was $1 million involved, I understand. Down to Lanier. Good play. And no foul call. Reverse it to the point. Get it inside of the big man. Flashing across the middle. And now it's down to 10. But that turnover by Marcus with about 4:15 to play in the third, in which Boston came up with a score at the other end, really hurt. Could have been a 6-point ball game now. Down to 10. Inside they go to McHale. Harvey Catchington overplays his hip. Deep Wedman. And he finally missed one. First miss of the night for Scott Wedman.
I think that was a 3-pointer, wasn't it?
Yep, sure was. Alton Lister getting set to come in again. Lanier, Catchings, Marcus. Lanier trying to get warm. And a foul call on Boston. If it's Robert Parrish, it's number 4. That's it. Number 4 on him. Boston with 2.
That was a super play by Lanier. Now watch this on the replay. Lanier gets the ball in a post-up. They'll swing it around to him well. That's the end of it. And what he does is he turns for the jump shot. He turns and then takes his body into Parrish to draw the foul. Parrish really had no other option.
Milwaukee at the line, 76-67. Mark 2. And the Bucks now 12 for 16 at the line. And they are within 8. .309 to play here in the third. Wedman, they're trying to open it up again, trying to force the Bucks out of the middle and open up opportunities in and out. Here's Henderson on a little pick and roll. Wedman, good effort right there. And he traveled with the ball. Oh, that's a tough call by Middleton, but he said that Wedman had possession when he went down. So a big turnover there by Boston, number 10 for the Celtics.
Now Lanier gets a rest. Lister comes back in. The last 2 times down the floor, Boston has gone to a high post offense with Parrish high, and they've run exchanges on each side with the guards and forwards.
Marcus, he had Bridgman inside. Patel Jr. wanted the ball. His ears were pinned back to his head. Moncrief, and it's down to a 6-point ball game.
Unbelievable. That was just give Sidney the ball, let him work.
From 17 to 6 here in this period. Parrish, that's his shot.
Boy, somehow you've got to turn him the other way because his percentage will drop drastically. Easier said than done, I realize that.
But they've got to cheat a man up on that hip, John, and take that movement away from him.
Right, yeah.
There's Junior. Good action from the weak side for Junior that time. The Bucks just rotated it left strong, and Junior cheating up on top from the weak side. Away from the ball was wide open. Wedman again.
Shoot.
That's money in the bank. You can just feel it. You know, when he has an open shot like that, you know it's going to get on.
Well, you're going to have to come up and pick him up a little earlier, and I think Marcus realizes that. Marcus retreated, which is what the defense will do as they bring it up, and Wedman was this kind of a slow trailer on that.
Marcus double teamed inside and rejected by Parrish. He was triple teamed finally. Parrish came over. Danny Ainge through the crowd. Henderson with a screen. How about Ainge on that one? He got it to Henderson and then set the screen. And now it's a 10-point game again.
Well, Nelly wanting to foul at the other end, but Ainge set it up. And look at this. Marcus gets it inside. Parrish plays it well.
Catchings to Marcus. He's going to have to create. There's your one-on-one. Takes him baseline and then pulls up and missed it. Boy, oh boy. Ainge in the middle. Lister hung right in there. Oh, no. And a save by Moncrief. Marcus Johnson with a jam. Oh, only a superior athlete was able to catch up with that ball, right. John. That ball was out of the building. How did he get to it?
I agree, Eddie. It was a beautiful effort. And at the other end, Ainge tried to get too fancy. He kept the ball too long. He should have just given it up to the big guy earlier.
82-74. Bryan getting set to come in. We're under a minute to play in the third. Milwaukee has cut the big gap. They had it to 6. Trying to reverse. There's Parrish. And an offensive foul. No, it's on Alton Lister.
Now you see what's happening. You're seeing in this third period, Boston looking more and more now to come back to that post-up. That's what they saw that time, because they know Milwaukee is more aware of their outside shooting ability due to the shooting percentage of the first half.
Alton Lister with 3, Bucks with 4, Celtics with 2. They have 1 to take if they need it. Henderson with Wedman flaring out into the corner. Parrish on the give, won't get it back. There's Ainge in the lane. In and out, offensive foul. Offensive foul. Danny Ainge.
Now watch Ainge create here. Junior has to come up to play, but watch Harvey in there take the charge very well.
Timeout. Boston 82, Bucks 74. Only one other game tonight in the playoffs. Portland entertaining LA. Later on, West Coast. New York, Philadelphia tomorrow. San Antonio, Denver likewise. The Bucks with 3 timeouts in the game, plus a 20. Boston with 4, plus a 20. Rick Roby has come in for Boston. Little used, but he'll just put a big body on the man in the middle for Milwaukee. He's a very physical, intimidating player who's had a back problem this year. Had his problems and sat out quite a few games and did not play all that much for the Boston Celtics. 59 games. Brian Winters. Bucks want to get a good shot. To cut it to 6 would be a very important factor for Milwaukee. Having trailed by 17, had it to 6 once. Shot clock at 8. Moncrief now starts his thrust. There's Junior. Roby steps up. Nice play. Oh, no. Lister shoved and no foul. And Boston with 7 will get one final shot at it. Knocked away. Wedman inside. He was out of bounds. They don't get a shot away. So that is the end of 3. And Milwaukee trailing it. Boston 82, the Bucks 74. After 3, the Bucks trailing it now by 8. 82-74. Trailed it by 17, but outscored Boston finally 32-25 in the period. The only period Milwaukee has outscored them. They had it down to 6 at 76-70. And now they'll send back Alton Lister, Brian Winters, Sidney Moncrief, Junior Bridgman, and Harvey Catchings, and a standing ovation for the Celtics here to try and give them a little help from their 6th man. Ainge, Roby, Henderson, McHale, and Wedman. Good move by Fitch, starting Roby here in the period to give their big man a rest. He's in foul trouble with 4 besides, Robert Parrish. And Roby yielding no ground at all to Alton Lister. The big guy hit it anyway.
Yeah, do you think these are the same people that booed them the other night? They change quickly, don't they? By the way, we have a note here from Rich Killalay. Yeah, that's John's son. He says hi to Ely and the family and to Jim Kelly.
Uh-oh, Henderson not picked up. He swings it out to Wedman. He's been red hot tonight. And Moncrief. And the Bucks come down with a 1-man advantage. Junior, oh my. And he is grilled cheese underneath. And you always worry about Junior's foot. And Junior saying, hey, what was that all about to Ed Middleton? Junior will go to the line. And take your time, Junior, because these are the 2 biggest free throws of the night. And Ainge apologizing.
Well, it's a very physical play by Ainge, and he takes it and makes a good foul out of it as Junior puts a good move on Wedman. Now, Wedman's a good defensive player. Look at him go up. He might have played the good D on Junior had Ainge not committed the foul from behind.
I thought it was a good effort by Boston, John. If it's going the other way against you applaud your fellas for making that kind of a play.
Absolutely, Eddie. You got to make it a good one, and that's what Ainge did. Ainge, he's a physical, rough type player.
I'm telling you something, and nobody believed me when I said this before he even got into the league. He has a chance to be a very fine player.
Yeah, I agree, Eddie. But people talked about him being a John Havlicek variety.
I did.
Can't see it. I think he's going to be a very good player.
We finally disagree on something. 82-78.
Quinn Buckner agrees with me.
Henderson, Roby. Oh, nice move by Roby. Rejected. McHale.
Too big.
Yeah, too big inside. Oh, that would have been a big turnaround right there. Down to 4, back to 6. Bryant backs over the 10-second line. All these baskets so important. We've not seen much of Tiny Archibald. We've not seen any of Quinn Buckner, former Bucks favorite. Look at the defense being played by Wedman. Wedman has done a sensational job all the way around. Bryant. Now we got a zone call against Boston. So they'll reset the clock on this, John. What a break for the Bucks. On the zone call or a illegal defensive call, you retain possession and they reload the clock to 24. And that's exactly what's going to happen, and Milwaukee will get possession again.
You're right. That is a break. Good defense that time by Boston. Come on, take it in, Alton. He's counting. Ooh, got it in on 4.
And Nelly was right up there to try and say something to him about it. Now he got a foul. It's on Boston. Boston with 2 team fouls here in the 4th period.
Eddie, a point I want to make, I think the Bucks need to get into their offense a little bit quicker. They're waiting quite a bit of time to even start it and initiate it. Therefore, when the defense is there, it's tough to get a good shot. Earl Strom is down, talking to Don Nelson about where to stand. Don't get beyond your line, Nelly.
I'll tell you one thing about Strom. He's got the game under control. You don't take much away from him. He is in charge when he is on the floor.
Yeah, if you go at him, too, he'll straighten you out quickly.
Well, he's been around.
Yeah, he's a good, I like Earl as an official.
84-78. Moncrief, he was held by Henderson. 3-pointer by Bryant. No. And they beat the Bucks to the ball. Henderson at junior, lost the ball. Wedman picks it up. Bryant takes it away. Out ahead, Moncrief with McHale back. And no wipe away there. And down to 4 points again. 84-80 with under 10 to play.
That was a great play by Moncrief because McHale is an excellent shot blocker with great reach and, of course, a lot of height.
9:47 to play here in the basketball game's 4th period. Roby gets hung up with the ball on top. Meanwhile, Parrish is getting a lot of rest. Backdoor McHale lost the ball. He tried to put it down and he dribbled it off his foot. Another turnover. Bryant. No. Bucks get it back, I think. And Henderson with a foul. Yes, sir. Henderson gets 4. Boston's got 3.
Here's the action again. Long rebound on the miss by Bryant. Harvey was set up inside. You see the good Boston interior block out, and you see the foul here by Henderson as he and Lister really have gotten tangled up a number of times tonight.
Henderson and McHale go out. Maxwell has come back in with Tiny Archibald. And the Bucks have got to be aware of an attempt to penetrate, move the ball. That's what Tiny does. He's their catalytic guard. He picks the tempo up considerably. Plenty of time on the shot clock. And Bridgman, it won't swallow it. It will swallow it. It's down to a 2-point game.
Eddie, the Bucks have an advantage here. Archibald cannot guard either Winters or Bridgman.
Timeout. Boston 84, Milwaukee 82. Milwaukee has out-rebounded Boston in the ball game. They out-rebounded in the third. Boston shot 60%. Milwaukee 59% for the first time tonight. Quinn Buckner. And you know why he's in there? Defense. Down to a 2-point game from 17 in the third period. Moncrief on Archibald. Marcus has got Maxwell. They're trying to post Maxwell 6'8" over Marcus 6'6". They double him up. Looks to the weak side. Milwaukee seals it off. Buckner wide open. That's a tough shot for him to take there, and Parrish took it away. Bucks had it and lost it. And Quinn had to take the shot. He was open, but just off the bench. And Parrish, he can shoot that. Marcus has got it. Give it to Moncrief. Bucks with a 12-4 run late in the third came back to cut the lead, and now are within 2 in the ball game. Moncrief, Buckner all over him. Marcus steps in a little deeper. Tie ball game. Tie ball game, Milwaukee.
Eddie, the Bucks swinging the ball well in that situation, making that a Boston defense adjust somewhat. Marcus with a good play, but much of the Bucks offense is starting with Moncrief on the right side with the ball.
8 minutes to play in the game. Wedman's still in there. He's had a sensational night for Boston. Down to Parrish. That's his shot. Not this time, but the Chief and Maxwell knocked it out of bounds. Milwaukee with a chance to take a lead. How about this for a turn of events? From 17 points down early in the third period, trailing by 14 midway in the third period, and now tied with 7:43 to play. Harvey catching. Bob Lanier still on the bench. Bryant, Harvey swinging the ball. Good ball movement, John, you called it. Moncrief, block, shot, Parrish. What a block by Parrish. They've got a 4-on-3. Give it to Wedman. Bucks get back to cover. Wedman. He has been the man of the night. No question about it. Grab that Miller now. Boy, you're going to need it for sure.
Eddie, I think when Sidney took that ball to the basket, I think it hit the bottom of the backboard as he took it inside. So that might be a break for Boston. And, of course, Wedman still playing a fine game for the Celtics. Taking it to that left hand.
86-84. Under 7 to play. Marcus, open lane. Oh, I'm telling you, he saw the waters part, and he was right in there.
Hump time.
Beautiful seeing job by Marcus Johnson.
What I mean by that is, of course, take the lead and get over the hump. Sometimes that's the hardest part when you've been down so big.
86 all. Got to get that lead. That puts a lot of pressure on Boston. They start thinking about it. Tiny penetration, no charge. And Brian Winters and Buckner going down hard. Oh, my goodness.
What was that with Archibald and Harvey catching? See, I tell you, the little man won't get that many calls. Now, look at that. That isn't a charge, ladies and gentlemen. I know. I'm getting emotional.
86-86. I'm not. 6:31 to play in the game. I didn't have any voice when I got here tonight. Of course, thinking about this one. 86-86, and here's Big Bob Lanier coming back in. And Quinn Buckner will go to the line. A couple of big free throws for the Boston Celtics. Regular season, Quinn did not have a good free throw shooting year, 63%. But he had improved that category tremendously over his years in Milwaukee. And over his career, he got it up to 66%.
I'll tell you, Eddie, in the first game here against Atlanta in the playoffs, we saw a double up by the Atlanta defense, swing the ball to that same side to Buckner, and he knocked him in to win that ball game. But it's very difficult when you come in off that bench and you've been there all night.
This is 2. 86-86. Bill Fitch put Quinn in there for defensive purposes, and he's got Moncrief to guard. They know each other well. On top to Lanier. Off the split to give to Junior. Lanier with the screen, blocked by Parrish. Excellent defense. Moncrief back to try and cover. And Parrish will get it. That's Wedman again.
It's like a horse shot for him.
He has made 2 big shots. Well, he's made a lot of big shots. I shouldn't say just 2. And we're down to 7 minutes to play. And Boston without their star, Larry Bird, who came up sick today with 104 degrees, and a foul call on Buckner. That's number 4 on Boston. with 5:46 to play. Milwaukee with only one team foul.
And that can be a factor. It was in the other game. Even though the Bucks had the lead, they got Boston into foul trouble, and they were able to keep that lead by going to the line. Now perhaps it will assist them to get to the line now.
Lanier over Parrish. He was shoved away and did not get a call. Good defense by Parrish there. Tiny. Marcus Johnson. And fouled in the backcourt by Buckner. The penalty is in. They'll bring it to the other end. Milwaukee could catch a break right here, John. They get the extra shot from now on with 5:33.
Look at it again. Marcus ripping that one off, and that's a big rebound because Maxwell was inside. Could have had an easy tip in, but here's where we talked about the value of being able to get the Celtics into foul trouble and go to the line. You can fatten up there.
Only once tonight have the Bucks seen the penalty situation. That was in the second period. Milwaukee, on the other hand, has not put Boston in the penalty situation. They have yet to commit 5 team fouls in a period. So we are at 88-86.
Eddie, I know Bill Fitch knows his team. Oh, miss.
0 for 3 at the line.
But I think I would have McHale in the game in place of Maxwell at this point because he's such a good defensive player and so strong inside.
88-87. He's going with who he has out there that he feels is hot. He's got Archibald, Parrish, Maxwell. There's Buckner running a curlicue off the low post. Down to Maxwell. Marcus, they double him down. Tiny, they swing it to Buckner. He's wide open. And Brian Winters has got it. Quinn has missed 2 from the outside. A couple of free throws. But you have to take that shot when you give it. When you're giving it.
Yeah. Well, of course you do.
You do.
And that's what the Bucks are gambling on.
Boy, Buckner knows that offense so well, John. We got a foul call, illegal defense call on Boston, and that means the penalty or the technical will be shot, and the Bucks will regain possession of the ball on the far side with a full-blown 24-second clock.
Now the Bucks setting it up well, Eddie, because they're trying to go to Lanier. They're clearing out. Therefore, the weak side is difficult to get in there without that call.
Junior at the line. We'll take a timeout and tell you what happens on the way back. Preventing a turnover here is most important. Look at Wedman fight over the Lanier pick. Junior trying to use it. Forced it. They've got it. Why wouldn't they want to go inside with a shot there?
Well, I think they were looking to do that early as they were trying to post up Moncrief, but there was good defense played in there, so Sidney finally went away to the weak side, and then the Bucks try to work some 2-man basketball.
There's Maxwell over at Marcus. And Junior had it, was challenged in the backcourt. John, the rebounding has kept Milwaukee in the game.
Yes, it has, but you can only rebound if you're making them miss.
Oh, look at the overplay by Buckner. Good defense.
Look at that. Oh, come on.
Goaltend. No goaltend there.
Foul now on Bridgman.
I don't believe it.
And it's hard to tell up here. Let's see. Oh. Oh.
Wow, what a big turn of events there.
You think that was hand, glass, and ball all at once? I don't know.
88-88. Well, they had a good shot at it. We're looking at it from an angle. We keep telling you that. Can't really argue with it. Maxwell. Pitch it back to Ainge, who's just back in the ball game. Wide open. And again, Boston saving. And Tiny won't get there in time. Look out, Tiny.
Good effort. Good effort.
Excellent effort by little Tiny Archibald.
That's one of the few times, Eddie, that Boston has gotten the ball back. The Bucks have been shutting him down on those missed shots, as you indicated. Maxwell tried to save it. Look at this again. This is playoffs, man. You got to go after those. He was out of bounds, though, when he left.
John, we are stuck on 88. And the Bucks coming back against a gritty Boston team playing without Larry Bird. Boy, don't you just love this kind of action?
Some problem with the clock.
Well, I can understand that.
Yeah, well, that's where Archibald took off from.
Now they're going to have to go get an auxiliary clock, I believe.
Is not operating. Team foul totals Milwaukee
Team fouls not operated. And they put 2 seconds back up.
All right, now, John, the Bucks will have to keep track of this. 2 team fouls. Boston already over the limit.
Right.
That little respite there helped Boston. They're thin. They're wearing down. Plus, the Bucks had it going. Let's see how they handle this now. Down to Lanier. One-on-one on Parrish. Double pumps him. Bingo! First lead of the ball game.
What a shot. The Bucks set it up. Take Lanier high. Let him give the ball up to the right side. Then go down low for the post-up action.
Under 3 to play in the ball game. Tiny Archibald, the veteran, 13 years from UTEP. Walked in here tonight with a string tie on. Looked like a Minnesota riverboat gambler. And Lanier gets a foul. That's number 3 on Bob, number 3 on Milwaukee.
And you could see what Boston wanted to go to. They want to go into Parrish down low in an isolation with Lanier.
That's all right. We're down to 2:45. The humidity taking a little toll. There's Wedman. They get up on him in a hurry. Marcus back to Ainge over Bryan.
All right.
And Marcus with another rebound. The Bucks got a rebound figure on Marcus.
They pushed it out, Eddie. You're right. They had to come out on Wedman out of that stack, and the Bucks rotated it well.
Sidney Moncrief. Every trip down is so important. Bryan. Haynes got another. And it's 92-88. And Boston takes one of the remaining 2 timeouts. 2:14 to play in the 4th. Milwaukee 92. The Celtics 88. At the defensive end, they conceded the outside shot to Boston. And the Celtics hit 45 of their first 57 points at halftime from outside. Well, the Bucks made an adjustment. They're playing everybody a little bit more honest, and they're much more aggressive on the boards, even though they were fairly aggressive in the first half. Archibald, Ainge, their guards. It'll be Maxwell, Parrish, McHale front line. Lanier, Marcus, Moncrief, Bryan, and Bridgman. And the crowd wants Boston to do something, trailing by 4 with 2:07 to play. Maxwell trying to go to Ainge. Bryan all over him. This is where you have to have a gut check right here, folks. How tough are you?
Illegal defense.
Is that the first one of the night against Milwaukee? If that is, that's the second. And a technical foul on the Bucks. As Don Nelson wants to know, they had Moncrief in the first half. A technical foul call, and now Moncrief wants an explanation from Earl Strom.
Well, it was on Junior, and Junior saying I was standing right next to the player, and Earl Strom was saying no, and I don't know who the offensive player was there for a moment. I think it was Maxwell. And Earl Strom is explaining he was not. He moved into that position. And, of course, that's a difficult time to get that call. They could give them 3 points at this point in the ball game. The Bucks with their smaller lineup, they've gone with it all along. And we might see Boston try to go inside of McHale with his size on Marcus.
Well, that's big, John, because now they can cut it to 1 if they score on this hoop. 158. Don Nelson, you can see, is lathered. There's Tiny. Played by Moncrief. Ainge, he comes off the screen. And a loose ball foul on Milwaukee. And it's on Bridgman. And that is number 4 on the Bucks. And so all the fouls are over as far as the Bucks. No free fouls left. And Boston will get it back again.
It turns out to be a good foul because Maxwell had good inside position, would have had an easy layup, even though you hate to commit the foul. And what did they go to? The pin down the right side for Ainge. He's had the jumper the last couple of times, but remember, he knocked him in that first half.
You see, Harvey just came in for Junior. They're trying to stack down deep. There's Maxwell on Marcus. He's not giving any ground. Maxwell, jump hook. No! Moncrief with a big one. 92-89. Well, we let it loose every now and then, folks.
All right, Eddie, this is a big, big offensive exchange for the Bucks. Big defensive for the Celtics.
Moncrief knocked it away. Good call by Earl Strom. You'll watch how that Celtic inside defense is rotating up, John. They're doing a great job.
Well, that time Lanier really got banged and he lost the ball. Had Moncrief been able to catch up with that, that might have been an easy 2 for him.
Watch out, they're going to run their set play. There's Ainge. Bryan shading. Ainge inside. Had to change the shot. Maxwell deep. In and out. McHale lost the ball out of bounds. And now they say it was off Brian Winter's hand. 1:11 to play in the 4th. 3-point ball game. Have you seen one better than this second half in a while? Boston gets it back. Chances. Oh, Tiny wide open. They give it to him. and Moncrief has got the rebound. Tiny on the miss. This will take it under a minute and a 3-point lead.
Well, Eddie, I would go to either a clear out for Moncrief on one side or give it to Lanier inside. They're not going to do that. They're going to bring Marcus up. Ryan's going to go down to the left. Marcus will be able to work.
Let the air out, but don't get too tentative.
5 on the shot.
We've got 3 on the shot. Moncrief. And they've got it. 40 seconds. Traveling. No call. Tipped in Boston Parish. McHale traveled. They didn't get a call. 33 seconds to play. 1-point ball game. A hoop. Bucks with 3 timeouts to take. Boston with 1. Lanier down to 10. Down to 7. Oh, Moncrief! Oh, my paint baby! And a 3-point lead with 17 seconds to play. And we'll be back after this final gasp. .91. Bucks with 3 timeouts and a 20. Boston with a 20. That's it. 17 seconds to play. In a few minutes, we'll be naming our Miller High Life Channel 18 player of the game and a $100 donation made in his name to the MAC Fund. That is tonight's most valuable buck. Don Larrick was our director, WSBK our facilities, Larry Koffel back at the studio, and Bill Frank's our executive producer. Tiny Archibald. They'll get away a shot here in a hurry, I would think. Well, look for the 3-pointer. There's Ainge. Not going to get it. Lanier taps it loose. Bucks have got it. Milwaukee's going to win this basketball game, coming from 17 points down. In an almost hard-to-believe effort here at the Garden in Boston tonight. And this crowd has once again let the air out of their souls, and they are starting to head to the exits tonight. Bob Lanier can put this baby in the Amana with Pressey, Catchings, Lanier, Marcus, and Moncrief from Milwaukee. Parrish and Maxwell, McHale, Ainge, and Archibald. After a magnificent Boston first half. Now, it's not done yet. A 3-point ball game, and Lanier must make this second free throw. It's a big one. They can take their 20 and set up a 3-point play. He's got it. 95, 91, and they'll be jumping at Saz's and Goolsby's tonight. Archibald, it's over, and they're coming home. 2-0 in the semifinal series against the Boston Celtics. And listen to the boos at the Garden tonight. They're booing at the Garden as Milwaukee outscored the Boston Celtics in the second half, 32-25 in the third, and 21-9. 21-9 in the fourth period. You talk about a turn of events. Hard to believe. 21-9. Milwaukee outscoring the Boston Celtics here in the fourth period tonight. A great win for the Bucks when it looked like it was going to go 1-1, but Milwaukee heads home, and they now lead the series 2-0.